Namaste, Vanakkam, Swaghatham everyone, and welcoming you all to the fourth day of our Navaratri 2020, celebrating Ammaji, the Divine Mother. And yes, I'm so happy to see all of you, and today we have a lovely event that's waiting for us to approach it. So welcoming you all to this day, and we'll start with the Gayatri for Durga Devi, and we'll be invoking the Guru Parampara through the Guru Gayatri. So please join along with me. कात्यायनाय विद्महे कन्याकुमारी धीमहि तन्नो दुर्गा प्रचोदयाते ॐ तत्परम्पर्याय विद्महे ज्ञानलिङ्गेश्वराय धीमहि तन्नो गुरुः प्रचोदयाते ओम योग महर्षि डॉक्टर स्वामी गीतानंद गिरी गुरु महाराज की जय. Namaste all of you, and welcoming you all once again wholeheartedly. I'm so happy, and if you are here, you're on the right time, at the right place, and with the right people. So let's get started with our lovely theme of this whole Navaratri 2020, and we'll get into this wonderful evening which is in front of us.
Om Jai 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 Ammaji ke Aragara
Ammaji, Ammaji, beloved Ammaji, 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 most loving Ammaji, we all love you Ammaji, we love you Ammaji, we all love you Ammaji, we love you Ammaji, bestest Ammaji, bestest Ammaji, loving divine Ammaji, divine loving Ammaji, most loving Ammaji, most divine Ammaji, 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 beloved Ammaji, 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 most loving Ammaji, most divine Ammaji, most loving Ammaji, most divine Ammaji, most loving Ammaji.
Jai Jai Ammaji ke Aragara.
After our lovely theme, I'm welcoming you all, and we'll start with a short welcome note by our dear Dr. Sir and go into the next part of this evening.
Namaste, Swaghatham, Vanakkam. Welcome back to another grand evening, celebrating Ammaji, our Divine Mother, celebrating the feminine divine, the TRISHAKTIS of Ma Durga, Ma Lakshmi, and Ma Saraswathi. What a beautiful evening we have set up for you, beginning with an invocation, a beautiful Bhavanani performance by three of the senior dancers of Yoganjali, Selvi Balasundari, Selvi Vidya Shankari, and our own Selvi Dhivya Bhavanani, that has been put together, compiled and edited by another one of our stars, the one and only Krishnaveni. And following that, we have three amazing women with us, three Shaktis, my dear Zenna, my dear Mugs, and my dear Padma, who are going to give us such a new perspective. And I'm so looking forward to this with all of you. Let us go ahead and have a wonderful time. Let's make it a wonderful time. Dhanyavadaha. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sir, for that welcome note. And yes, Dr. Sir spoke it out to you, and I'll just be shortly telling you about what we are going to do. So as I promised you, we are going to have music and dance. So if you noticed, we had 2 days of music sessions. And so today we are going to have a dance session by a group of us senior students. And I hope you all will enjoy it. And this dance was choreographed. It was actually composed, and it was written by our dear Dr. Sir, and with the help of our most beloved and always favorite Devasinamas. So I welcome you all to enjoy us to grace this and welcome Durga Shakti, Kriya Shakti into our lives.
Jayati 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 Ma Durga Jayati 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 Ma Durga Jayati 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 Ma Durga Navavida Vadivam Konda Navaratri Nayaki Jayati 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 Ma Durga Navavida Vadivam Konda Navaratri Nayaki Jayati 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 Ma Durga Navavida Vadivam Konda Navaratri Nayaki Jayati 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 Ma Durga Navavida Vadivam Konda Navaratri Nayaki Jayati 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 Ma Durga Navavida Vadivam Konda Navaratri Nayaki Jayati 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 Ma Durga சுதசங்கரனால் போற்றப்படும் சித்திதாத்ரி பிரம்மா சுதசங்கரனால் போற்றப்படும் சித்திதாத்ரி பிரபஞ்சத்தை ஏன்றருளும் சூரியமத்திய கூஷ்மாண்டா பிரபஞ்சத்தை ஏன்றருளும் சூரியமத்திய கூஷ்மாண்டா பிரம்மா சுதசங்கரனால் சித்திதாத்ரி பிரம்மா சுதசங்கரனால் போற்றப்படும் சித்திதாத்ரி பிரபஞ்சத்தை ஏன்றருளும் சூரியமத்திய கூஷ்மாண்டா பிரபஞ்சத்தை ஏன்றருளும் சூரியமத்திய கூஷ்மாண்டா ஜெயதி 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 மா துர்கை பிரம்மா சுதசங்கரனால் போற்றப்படும் சித்திதாத்ரி பிரம்மா சுதசங்கரனால் போற்றப்படும் சித்திதாத்ரி பிரபஞ்சத்தை ஏன்றருளும் சூரியமத்திய கூஷ்மாண்டா பிரபஞ்சத்தை ஏன்றருளும் சூரியமத்திய கூஷ்மாண்டா ஜெயதி 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 மா துர்கை துர்கை சிவன் பதம் தியானித்த பிரம்மச்சாரிணி சிவன் பதம் தியானித்த பிரம்மச்சாரிணி தியாகம் செய்து அவதரித்த மலையன் துவஜன் சைலபுத்ரி தியாகம் செய்து அவதரித்த மலையன் துவஜன் சைலபுத்ரி மகாதேவன் மனம் மகிழும் மகாகௌரி தாயே மகாதேவன் மனம் மகிழும் மகாகௌரி தாயே சந்திரகண்டாணியே ஸ்கந்தமாத அருள் புரிவாய் சந்திரகண்டாணியே ஸ்கந்தமாத அருள் புரிவாய் ஜெயதி 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 மா துர்கை சிவன் பதம் தியானித்த பிரம்மச்சாரிணி தியாகம் செய்து அவதரித்த மலையன் துவஜன் சைலபுத்ரி மகாதேவன் மனம் மகிழும் மகாகௌரி தாயே சந்திரகண்டாணியே ஸ்கந்தமாத அருள் புரிவாய் ஜெயதி 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 மா துர்கை துர்கை காமக்ரோத லோபாதி ரிபுவின் வடிவம் காமக்ரோத லோபாதி ரிபுவின் வடிவம் மாமஹிஷாசுரனை வதைத்த காத்யாயணியே மாமஹிஷாசுரனை வதைத்த காத்யாயணியே பக்தர்களை காக்கவே பயங்கர ரூபம் கொண்டு பக்தர்களை காக்கவே பயங்கர ரூபம் கொண்டு சும்பனி சும்பனை அழித்த காலராத்திரி சுபங்கரி சும்பனி சும்பனை அழித்த காலராத்திரி சுபங்கரி ஜெயதி 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 மா துர்கை காமக்ரோத லோபாதி விபு ரூபம் கொண்ட சும்பனி சும்பனை அழித்த காலராத்திரி சுபங்கள் ஜெயதி 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 மா துர்கே 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 மா துர்கே
So hope you all enjoyed this wonderful performance. And yes, if you all identify the place, all three of us did it in the same place, but at different times, because we just wanted to try a different module. And it was on the Anand Ashram rooftop, and you could see the sunset because we did it at that time. So one of us had the beach in the background, one of us had the trees, and then the other had the sunset. So hope you all enjoyed it. And we have many more dances actually coming up, like for Goddess Lakshmi and Saraswathi. And then we have many more musical sessions also. We just wanted different things so that we're not having the same thing every day. So yes, now it's the right time to call upon our three Shaktis for today. The three Shaktis, Yogacharini Zenna, Yogacharini Padma, and Yogacharini Mugs. So yes, they are in front of us right now, and I'm sure that they're going to blast this evening and give us all a wonderful time, and we all are going to enjoy it, right? So now I'm going to hand over the place to them, and me and Dr. Sir will step back because it's time for them to start interacting with all of you. Over to three of you.
Namaste, everyone. Thank you very much. Dr. Sir, Divya, the Paramperai, thanks for giving us this opportunity to honor our Divine Mother Ammaji during this Navaratri 2021. So today from North America, I have my lovely yoga sisters, and following on the palau of our amazing sisters, Aishwarya and Kalavati yesterday, we are going to frame our discussion around becoming Ammaji, how Yogacharini, Yogashakti, remember to remember. Thank you, Dhivya. I saw that on the poster. I have the Shaktis with me. Yogacharini, Yogashakti Zenna, who has met Ammaji in more of the Tamasic stage when she was just coming to India and starting to take up yoga. Myself, in the more of the Rajasic stage, as she was actually teaching and sharing these teachings with us, to Yogashakti Mugs, who hasn't physically met Ammaji, but imbibes her spirit through her teachings and this lovely yoga family. So without further ado, we will start at the beginning with Yogashakti Zenna.
Thank you so much. Namaste, everybody. What a beautiful, beautiful tribute to Ammaji and to all Shaktis. So thank you for this opportunity. I just wanted to say what a beautiful presentation it was yesterday as well. And so in wearing this sari, I want to tell you where I got it. I went to a secondhand store, and under the bath and bedroom things, it was in the sheet department. So they didn't know what the gold they had, right? So I only paid $9 for it in Canada, which is, it's worth $2.50 at least. But saris are beautiful, and I always remember Ammaji wearing one. But we're going to the early days, and I wrote this out last night. She was from a family of 12 kids from conservative South Dakota and had wanted to be a nun. Her family must have been open-minded, because Barbara sure was. India was her destiny, and it was there that she went through a total remake from an American small-town girl into a world-renowned yogini. I heard it through the grapevine from Rajudev that Barbara, who was also called Boo Boo, was a bit uncoordinated in her early years. Swamiji had been teaching yoga in Pondicherry, but one day when he and Rajudev were walking down the street, Swamiji turned to him and said, "I'm going to start an ashram." Barbara was there when Swamiji had the bright idea, and was at the first 1969 International Yoga Teacher Training course. She had also taken classes with him before that. Barbara came to all the classes that first year. Because she was broke, she then had to go back to the United States to make some money so she could continue to live in India and study with her beloved Guru Swamiji. The first 2 years of classes were held on the second story of a building in Pondicherry above a family home, but it was becoming too small, so Swamiji bought land at Lawspet and started Ananda Ashram there. In 1971, I was in the third International Yoga Teacher Training course, and that's when I met Menakshi Devi, who had been Barbara and Boo Boo. She was beautiful and so efficient at anything she did. I don't remember her being at class except the occasional satsang, and she would quickly come in every day to give Swamiji his coffee. He would be talking, and she would expertly slide the cup into his hand and disappear. Rajadev also remembers that she didn't come to classes in the early days, as she was always working in the office, writing, organizing, keeping everything in the ashram flowing smoothly for her wonderful Swamiji. Menakshi always made sure that all of the students were well taken care of and even cleared out a tiny storage room so that my husband and I had a space together while we were studying. She didn't sit for long and was, I recall, always walking fairly quickly, tall and with purpose. Swamiji was training her to be a Shakti, the Shakti that she is. But he wasn't always easy on her or on any of us early students. If he saw that we weren't acting according to yogic principles and were being stupid. One night, some of us were on the roof listening to music and dancing. Swamiji stormed up to us, threw a table across the roof, and ordered us to stop. I had to question if dancing and my precious love of it was going to take me to enlightenment. I was delighted in 1989, just a mere 18 years later, that Menakshi had changed his mind. She performed perfectly Bharatanatyam dancing at the third decennial convocation of Vishwa Yoga Samaj, and their son, dearest Ananda, wowed everyone with his amazing strength and grace. Dancing. As much as Swamiji trained her, she also had a great influence on him. After all, she was his Shakti. She worked so very, very hard and went through many hardships to prove her dedication, strength, and surrender. Rajadev said that Swamiji was breaking her out of bad habits, and she had lots of obligations and responsibilities that were probably very, very difficult, but she persevered. I feel without her, Swamiji wouldn't have been able to attain what he did. They were an amazing team that probably had been together for countless lifetimes. You all know her as Ammaji, but I know her as Menakshi Devi, named after a prominent South Indian goddess who is the emanation of Parvati. She can be depicted in a few ways, but I like the one of her sitting with one leg bent and the other with her foot on a cushion, symbolizing that she's always ready to come to the aid of suffering beings. She has in this depiction 4 arms. Now, I may not have it quite right, but I like my interpretation. The first right arm is in the Abhaya Mudra of offering protection. The second right arm holds a mace, which can represent physical and mental strength, which Ammaji has in abundance. The first left arm is in the Varada Mudra, offering generosity, encouragement, gifts. The second left arm to me looks like a noose. The noose chokes off ignorance, stops one from making mistakes, lassos the misguided mind and misguided souls, which also Ammaji has done for years, probably thousands of years. I had written to Ammaji on June 16th, 2020. You became an empty shell when Swamiji vacated his body. But in fact, you became both him and you to carry on his teachings. and to add your own brilliance to them. Well done. Om Shiva Shakti. She wrote back, if it did some good to the world process, I am glad. I do feel those in yoga sadhana must be spiritual cheerleaders to the world. And as I go older, I have to believe that the virtue closest to godliness is not cleanliness, but rather cheerfulness. Only a happy heart can realize the highest, because the highest is Anandam, Anandam, Chit Anandam. And after all is said and done, it takes one to know one. We must become happy to merge with happiness. Barbara, Boo, Menakshi Devi, emerging as Ammaji, mother to all, protector of all, wise teacher of all. Thank you for your sacrifices, service, amazing fortitude, strength, and unconditional love for all. As well as being an emanation of Parvati, you are also an emanation of Durga. Aptly today, fiercely riding your lion. Nothing will ever bring you down. You always rise. And I salute you and honor you, dearest Menakshi Devi. Congratulations on your many accomplishments. I love you.
Okay, this leads into my portion very well. These tears, this was the first 3 weeks in the ashram. Well, it wasn't in the ashram, actually. It was going to Sunday Pujya, and we all sang our bhajans, we came around, and we had to offer our malas to Amma. And for the first 3 weeks, I just cried. I could not formulate words. And her dearest, caring ways, are you unhappy? And all I could do was shake my head. No, I was perfectly happy. I was where I needed to be. And it was just her presence, her Mona Guru, her power just washed away many, many layers of impurities that weren't serving me, obviously. So that's one of my dear memories of Ammaji, the first 3 weeks. But from there, we got to go on and we had monthly chores, which our seva we did, and it rotated. So we had various activities from getting up in the pre Brahma Muhurta hours to make the tea before Arti, to doing the bathrooms, to do the sambrani. And I forget what this position was actually called, but was monitor or something. And we had to go around and help. And that's when I really got to know Ammaji. She'd call me up for tea and hand out different things for me to do. And one of them was making a fiery torch for Anadraja's school. And I was wondering, homework for Anadraj, but you don't question Ammaji, you just do it. So that was one of the things. And one of the biggest blessings was working with Kathy and whomever else was on it, getting to proofread her volume 2 of the history of yoga, which I only have studied with Gitananda Yoga, which was my blessing, but to get to know all these other things without even knowing, probably she does know, she gave me exactly what I needed to go through and learn the history. And it was hard not to just read every word, but actually do my duty and get the proofreading done. And she taught right to the last millisecond. As I was leaving the ashram, she was in the car waiting for Dhivya as she's going to get her hair done. So I was outside just chatting with her, and she was concerned, letting her little eaglets go off and saying, you know what, just asking about my life, what I'm going to do, who I'm going to be with. And it came to my partner and she was like, well, what does he do? What's this? What's going on? She said, well, you need to give him a chance. You need to give him another chance. So because of Ammaji, I have my wonderful partner who supports me. Sometimes he shows up, not at these hours, but he's here and he's also teaching me what I need to know, and Ammaji makes sure that happens all the time. So thank you, Ammaji. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, my yoga sisters and family.
That was so beautiful from both Zenna and Padma. Thank you so much for that beautiful sharing. I have not personally met Ammaji, but she has had a tremendous influence on my life, of course, as she touches so many. As Zenna alluded, Ammaji reminds me of Parvati, but for different reasons. And there's a story of Shiva up at the mountaintop meditating for hours and days and weeks on end. And he comes down to the mountain and he shares with Parvati, his wife, all these amazing things that he's learned through his meditation. And she chastises him and says, Shiva, what is the point of you spending all of this time meditating and you don't share the information that you glean from it with anyone? And so Shiva says to Parvati, fine, I'll tell you and you write it down. And so this is how I see the relationship with Dr. Swami Gitananda and Ammaji, in that Swami Gitananda would have all this information, and it was Ammaji who took the time to scribe it, to write it down for all of us to be able to learn from it. And I know that Dr.Ananda mentioned this in our teachings, that Ammaji's precision in the step-by-step program and how she shared his wisdom through getting it down into these words for us. And so the Bhuvaneshwari is this form of Parvati that is abundant with wisdom and shares us the wisdom of Dr. Gitananda. The other thing I've really learned from her is learning protocols. And so she's always teaching in her way. And I know when we invited Dr. Ananda ji to come to Canada and lead our annual retreat, Ammaji had to give him permission to come. And I don't know what her guidelines are to check us out to make sure that we're sincere, but this was indeed a process where he had to ask Ammaji, and she did give permission, and then he was able to come, and he checked me out in Australia at the International Yoga Teachers Association, even though I'd met him in Montreal at the retreat that ICYER put on. You know, there's a protocol, a process to make sure that this is a good use of Dr. Ananda ji's time, and that the teachings will be sincerely received. And so we may not realize this, but Ammaji is behind the scenes guiding whatever is happening there, and that each person is doing their part. And I feel that's so much respect from Dr. Ananda and Dhivya and Andraj to always be confiding and consulting with Ammaji in the process of whatever unfolds in the ashram. And her love for all of us is absolutely egoless. I feel like she is a form of Durga, riding her tiger and protecting her children. And we are all of her children. Any of us who have come to follow this path are her children. And I feel so blessed with her protection. And she's also, as Lakshmi, where she is incredibly bountifully providing for us all that we need. And there she is behind the scenes in the egoless way that she functions. And how she embodies Saraswathi as well in the creative energy of putting into form all of these divine words from Dr. Swami Gitananda. So we are being guided by this beautiful Ammaji behind the scenes. I don't need to have met her in person to be struck by her power, her Shakti. Her presence is omnipresent and it touches us all. And she is the Shakti behind this whole movement. So thank you to the moon and back, to the sun and back, Ammaji. I am incredibly grateful. Namaste.
Thank you so much. And I must say, all three of you are so naughty. You made us all cry. Like, it was like, and it's like it started and then it continued. But I tell you, it's not a bad thing, because you see, that explains how much you three have really brought out what was in you, and what you really thought. And it's really great, isn't it? And thank you so much, Yogacharini, Yogashakti, Zenna, because as you have seen her many more years, like I wasn't even existing in this world, maybe not even my father. So and I know how you feel today when you see Dr. Sir and when you see me and Anandaraj, that it really must mean something. And over to Yogacharini Padma, like you must have seen me in those days with the ribbons and going to school and jumping on my toes and eating som papadi in Kamliswami Madam. My God. So even that must be such a thing. And over to even the Yogacharini mugs, I'm sure that you have also seen us many years, like even though maybe not in person, but that actually doesn't mean much, because nowadays we all have learned how to sort of cover the difference over the online platform, even though we're not meeting in person. But oh my God, thank you. All three of you really made the evening special. And as I told you, initially I said the word blast, but it's blast, blast, and blast, blast Q. So I'll go over to Dr. Sir. Maybe he can add a few words.
I would just like to personally thank all the three of you for this beautiful threefold evolutionary growth of Ammaji, and her growth from when she came to India, her growth into someone who was capable of sustaining Swamiji's energy and enabling him to bring those teachings out to reach everyone in an accessible form. We talk about accessible yoga these days. Amma made Swamiji's teachings accessible to so many by her efforts, because Swamiji was pure fire. And if you were not ready for it, you got burnt. And Amma sort of was the moon for the sun to bring about the balance so that it became accessible. And again, she codified it. And as Padma was saying, every small thing in the ashram, Amma knew what was happening. And she took great interest in making sure that what is for salad today, have you cleaned the vegetables? Has Anandaraj been picked up from school today? Has Divya's tuition started? Yes. And even today, when I go down and I'm talking to her, she's like, where's Anandaraj? Has he come back? Where is Dhivya? Where is Devasena? What is going on? It is already late. Where are they? And everything has to be properly, because the structure is in which we all grow. Instruction happens in the structure. And that structure of Ananda Ashram. And yes, mugs, before Ammaji allows me to go any place in the world, she makes a thorough check of the organization, the people. And at one time, I remember Antonio in California telling Rajadev, I didn't have to go through as many checks to take my girlfriend out for, a date. And the background checks that go on with that. And so if Amma permits me, and even now, without her permission, I will do nothing. Because I know what she is, I know why she is. And when I value that, I realize the importance of it. And this is what a parampara is, where you understand those who have come before you, so that you can then share those teachings with those who come after you. And here we have Zenna, who has been there at the beginning days of the ashram, Padma, who has been there in the middle days, and Mugs, who has come into the Gitananda family towards this part. And so you have this beautiful evolution that has come through the teachings. And we saw the three young girls dancing today, that composition for Ma Durga. And again, another aspect of Ammaji's contribution. And just so that you know, before I came up for this evening, I told Ammaji, when I come to sing for you at 7, I'll show you the recording because Anand Raj has to go out today. And she said, no, I want to see it live. So she's watching it live on my phone downstairs in her room. So she's watching all of you live, even as we are doing this, because she wants to be on it always, because she believes in being in the present moment. So thank you for your beautiful expressions of love. Thank you, Divya, for putting this together. Every day is a beautiful experience. And for me, this is how we express our gratitude to that mother eagle, Ammaji. Dhanyavada.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sir, for that. And yes, that's very right. Even now, I tell you, nothing has changed. And you'd be quite shocked because you don't expect so much perfection in a person. Like even after everything that has happened, that it's really hard for us to digest. But she doesn't show anything has happened. So that's something we have to learn from her. And whatever happens, and I think it was put out by Swamiji that every breakdown we have to make it as a breakthrough and not look it as a breakdown and just let us collapse. So I think we can finish off with this message, and you have gathered a lot of wonderful messages from our three powerful Shaktis. I think all three of you are from Canada, right? I don't want to put a composite. Yeah, okay, I was right. So yes, you have met three new people from Canada. If you haven't met them, or if you already know them, well and good, you have known a little more about them, hopefully from today's session. And I'm really glad you three have really, made this evening fruitful, and thank you for accepting our invitation and coming and joining us in this program and making it the best one. So everybody, you know that we are going to continue up till the 16th of October, and every day the same time, same place. Remember to log in, and you have a lot of enthralling music and dance sessions, as Ammaji emphasized a lot on music and dance. And we'll be having the kids from Yoganjali Natyalayam at present who are learning through online and offline classes. And you're going to have many different people coming up on the different days to share their experiences and teachings from our dear Ammaji. So all of you, please join me and we'll conclude the session with the Shanti Mantra. Om Loka Samasta Sukino Bhavantu Sarve Janaha Sukino Bhavantu. Om Shanti 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 Om. Thank you everyone for making this possible and every day possible. Keep supporting and blessing us. See you all soon.